Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Cryptoslo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. The grind continues. So, what's going on? Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. Bitcoin keeps going down, but don't worry just yet. 8,000 really, honestly, for me, is that hard low. That if we break that resistance, I would probably shift to accumulating more Bitcoin. Now, there's a lot of contrarian views out right now about Bitcoin, especially with China releasing their top list of coins, but back to Tron being in the top. I mean, after using ETH, I got into EtherBees that launched the other day. I really recognize and I appreciate the speed of Tron. Honestly, it's super amazing for what it is. And personally, like with Tether, I'd like to see some more. I think USDT on Tron is way underutilized. There's definitely probably some DeFi applications that you could be running with it. It's just so much faster than other coins. So yeah. But anyways, and on to the Tron Hives. We had that 2 million dip in Tron Hives, which freaked a bunch of people out. Basically what happened was the devs have always earned 10% wax. That's exactly the same as the first time it launched. Well, they not withdrawn. The first time around, they were withdrawing their dev fees kind of as the contract went along, right? Well, they pulled out their whole 10% at once, and the contract had that massive drop, that 2 million, 1.5, whatever, in a single day, and it freaked a bunch of people out. But let me tell you, I hope you held your honey, because strategically, the game is still exactly the same. If you would have been following my tips and my guide, if you're in Tron Hives, you're doing what I told you to do, and your plan has not changed. And I will be releasing the full strategy guide on Tron Hives and here probably shortly, and letting everyone know how I played the game. And like I said, if you're in Ether Hives, I did the math. It's more expensive, but tokenomically, the math is exactly the same as Tron Hives. So, with that being said, I had said I would put a link in Ether Hives to my ETH Beehive strategy guide, and that would be a donation of ETH or 1,000 Cryptoslos, and I would be glad to share that information with you if you want to get those gains. So we're going to see where this goes. Hopefully on Ether Hives they pull their dev fee out as they go, but it's pretty spectacular so far. 1,200 ETH is definitely a solid freaking launch. And it's a different crowd of people than the first time. So, we'll see what's going on with that. Guppies. Guppies is pretty cool. They got a new FOMO game where you pick odd or even, and then every 24 hours, one of the teams wins a jackpot, and the jackpot was paying out like 1,000 per ticket. Question is, how do I get a ticket? Well, you go to Guppies, and you go and you buy at least one fry, okay? And you pick odd team or even team. So there's two teams. And now, here's the rub. There's only, when you hit the buy fry, you get your fry, but there's only a 50% chance that you'll win a ticket. So you don't win a ticket every single time. So that's 50-50. So, and then the winning team is 50-50. So, i.e., per example, yesterday I bought 3 tickets. I did 3 single fry buys, and I lost on the first one on the bonus. I lost on the second one, and then on the third roll, I won an even ticket. I picked even. Well, then at the end of the timer, odd won last night. And you're like, so it's 50-50, 50-50. It's 2 50-50s that you got to get through. So my advice to you is, if you get in on guppies, make sure you do small buys so that you have a better chance of winning a ticket, because it's 50-50. And we know how 50-50 goes. Tron bet, lose 15 times in a row. But yeah, so that, and then obviously the news that guppies might be releasing an IOST hourglass. Whether or not I get in on that, I don't know. I mean, I already own guppies, so I'm kind of 50-50 on that. I just don't like hourglasses because I feel like your funds are trapped in there, and it really depends on how it would launch, because people bought the crap out of these hourglasses, and there's a select few that always win, and that's just facts. I mean, and then everyone else is waiting 6 months to break even. So it's crap. I'm just not a fan of it. And honestly, a lot of these new DAPPs, their goal is to try to lock your funds up, and I just don't like that. I like my liquidity. BetFury, still mining the crap out of that. I did change my strategy a couple days ago. I am compounding 50% of my divs. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because, you're like, well, it's already 7%, so it takes forever to ROI. That's true. But my divs started to slip a little bit, and I was like, if I'm not keeping up with the mining on my percent that I want, then I'm gonna zero out. So, and then there was some FOMO. The pot went up to like 14 million. I originally went into Fury with like an 80-90K stack, and I've been getting about 3,000-4,000 a day. I think I got like 300,000 BFGs, and I think my last payout was 2,400. So with that, I pulled out 1,400 TRX, and I mined 1,000. So I am compounding to stay up with the mining because it's more of a drip pool. What else? So we got Tron Hives, Guppies, Fury. Yeah, just all these hourglasses. I'm just staying away from them because I like I said, I might consider the IOST one just because it's would be the first IOST. But as far as Tron hourglasses, that's just yeah, I'm staying away from those. They're just, in my opinion, just a way to get wrecked very easily. So as always, I will keep and check up on what's new for today going into the weekend. What do we have? Yeah, that's about it. So there's a lot going on. I've got a lot of stuff out there. My intent when I circle back on a lot of this is to do a massive mining event on credits. And, on that note of bankroll, Banker is doing pretty dang solid at looks like 14 on Tron Market. So definitely solid, and I got to get my Banker stack back. Yeah, and especially with the fact that Justin Sun taking over Polonex, that there's rumor that TRC 20s are going to be supported. So that's a pretty huge deal if you put 2 and 2 together of the fact that there is that possibility and probability moving into the future that Banker will be listed on some major exchanges, and that would be very, very good for the community. But other than that, have a great Friday. This is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.